Hi guys, my name is Khomolemo. I'm a 15-year-old from Soweto. I'm a Web Ranger ambassador and Article 12 member.
My name is Nambulelo. I am 15 years old from Soweto. I'm in a program called Web Rangers.
Hi, my name is Busisiwe Daza and I'm 15 years old. I got into the Web Rangers program in 2021.
Hi, my name is Tina Tenda Jane Kohoti. I'm 16 years old. I got into the Web Rangers program because it was something that was at school and everyone was being encouraged to enter into it.
The Web Rangers are a group of children from South Africa who are taught digital and media literacy skills.
We then use this knowledge to create innovative campaigns that promote online safety and protect our rights and the rights of other children in a digital world.
Our messages are for children like us, by children like us. This year, for 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children, we decided to make a podcast and talk to you about the violence that children face online and how we can work together to make the world a safer place.
On behalf of Media Monitoring Africa and the Web Rangers, I'd like to welcome you to the third and final part of a very special conversation about online violence, online safety, and how we can better equip our children to protect and be protected in an increasingly digital world. My name is Jamaine Krige, but you won't be hearing too much from me. Instead, I'd like to hand over to Busisiwe, Khomolemo, Tinutenda, and Nombulelo, the young activists and changemakers who'll be leading the conversation. Thank you again for joining me. So, in our previous two episodes, we got a better understanding about what online violence is, how it affects children, and what can be done to create a safer digital world. I'd like to kick off today's conversation by asking for advice on behalf of our listeners. If they or someone they know are experiencing online violence or abuse, what should they do? What advice do you have for children who may be going through this?
If a child is experiencing online violence, as a Web Ranger ambassador, I would advise them to report the person's account on their social networking site. Reporting the person's account is the most important thing you can do because it alerts the platform to deal with the person on their own terms according to the community guidelines. So reporting the account is helpful. I would also advise them to talk to a trusted adult.
And you, Busisiwe?
My advice would be rule number 1, just block the person on the platform. Inform an adult, and it can be anyone. A teacher, your neighbor, your older sister or brother, your older sibling.
Yeah, talking to someone you trust is important, but teenagers nowadays have trust issues. Chat line might be considered as helpful because you're actually sharing an experience with someone you don't know. Some might say talking to someone you don't know is much better than, talking to someone you know because they don't know anything about you.
It's very crucial to speak to an adult because only then can you move to the next step. Because if you just report and you block and you do not tell your adult, you do not tell your parent, then when something comes up like this, they would not understand where it's coming from because you have never really spoken about it to them.
In our previous episodes, we also touched on the work that the Web Rangers do. And today I'd like to hear a little bit more about this. Can you tell me a bit more about the projects that you're involved with?
Web Rangers is a digital literacy skills that empowers young people with digital skills and knowledge. We are now Web Rangers ambassadors who help create innovative campaigns. Basically, we want our voices to be heard as young people, and that's what we are actually doing. Currently, I'm in Article 12, which is also part of Web Rangers.
So the Article 12 working group is a group that just advocates for children in South Africa. The Article 12 working group is a group that deals with ICT-related policies that should involve children. So we believe that children's voices are very important and that they need to be heard.
Why are programs like the Web Rangers important? And how do initiatives like this actually help to keep young people safe?
I can say that Web Rangers has a very big impact in my life. Before I was a Web Ranger, but I didn't know anything about, the online world. But now I have a broader mindset. I now know the do's and don'ts.
Experiences like this, like the Web Rangers, it honestly opens up your mind because then you are not just a 14-year-old child who spends the whole day on the internet, you are able to then identify what is fake news, what is real news. And honestly, that helps you be, number one, a better person. Then you are then able to use the internet in a way that advantages you. Things like web ranges, these are things that are supposed to be made accessible to everyone. If the government can make digital literacy skills a must for every single child in South Africa, so that we will have less cases of cyberbullying, we'll have less cases of sexting and whatnot, because then children know that, okay, when I'm on the internet, I do this, and this is where I end.
We talk a lot about digital literacy and its importance, but maybe I can ask, why is digital literacy important?
In my opinion, digital literacy are all the tools that you would need to protect yourself and to be able to be aware of what's happening on the internet, and how you can protect yourself, in a way, shield yourself from all the bad things that could happen on the internet, and how you can shield other people so that it is not a case where people keep getting hurt because of the internet.
We're talking about teaching children about the cyber ills that are going on in the digital space and whatnot.
Online safety is an issue that faces people of all ages, all races, all genders. There are few people who are active in the online space who do not have concerns about online safety. Why is it important for us to specifically include children when we're having these conversations and making decisions about online safety?
I think that it's important because teenagers like us mostly engage in social media, and we face all those kind of different challenges, and it is mostly important to engage with us and ask us questions that would benefit us from the future.
I think it is important to include our voices because children are the ones that use the digital space more often, and I think our voices need to be heard of what we think and what we want to be modified in the digital space and world.
Children need to be aware of what's happening around them. So involving them in discussions or things that are going to affect them in the long run. We can't always have adults making decisions for us or deciding what is right or what is wrong for us.
I think it's important for us to be a part of these conversations because we are the ones that are mostly on those digital spaces. And if you have us in the conversations, we are then able to give you guys our experiences with the internet because we spend more time than it. So hence we have more learned experiences than everyone else.
Where can people find more information about the work that you and your fellow web rangers are doing with Media Monitoring Africa? And how can they get involved in the program?
So I would encourage the youngsters to join us, and if they want to join us, they should go to Instagram and check at webranges_SA.
If you want to join Web Ranges, we are on every platform, basically. You can get us on YouTube, you can get us on Instagram, you can get us on Facebook, you can get us on TikTok. So if it is a case where you really do want to be a part of our experiences, you can always find videos of our work. You can always find documents, even on Google. You can always find documents of what we have done and what we are really trying to do to make the world a better place for all children.
Finally, is there anything else you want to add? Anything you feel is important for our listeners to know?
My peers or other children can be taught to have the limits, can be taught to be a bit politer than they were, and to have sympathy on what the person is probably going through without them knowing.
Do you as the parent just try and check in on your child, especially on their online activities, because you might be surprised the type of content they see. And for the child, just be safe. Watch content that's based on your age. Don't try and go for things that are beyond you. Just be safe.
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. Be involved, monitor what your child sees on social media, and yeah, just be there for your child and know each and everything your child is doing in social media. It might, help create a better world.
As I said before, the platforms need to keep checking so that it is not just me on the end of the phone reporting, and they do nothing about it. They also need to check. And then at the end of the day, they do not really do anything. So I think if they do check, it would make the online space a safer space.
Khumolemo Usisiwe Tinutenda Nombolelo. Thank you again for taking the time to talk to me today and over the past 2 episodes. My name is Jamaine Krige, and I've been in conversation with the Web Rangers. As you heard, you can find out more about the work they do on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.webrangers.co.za. This was the final episode of a series of conversations where we looked at online safety. I hope you found the information they've shared helpful. We've looked at what online violence is, how to spot someone who might be in trouble, and what needs to be done to ensure that the digital space is safe for everyone who uses it, including children. If you or someone you know is experiencing online violence, you are not alone, and help is available. Talk to a parent or a trusted adult, or direct them to these conversations if you'd like them to have a better understanding of what is happening. This conversation was brought to you by the Web Rangers and the team at Media Monitoring Africa, produced by Jamaine Krige and Kofi Zwana. Thank you for listening, and until next time, goodbye.